The views expressed by the hosts are their own and don't necessarily reflect the views of Caswells Shooting Range, even though one of the hosts is an owner of Caswells. And now, overlooking Phoenix and live from the Double Wide Network Towers, it's Caswells Shooting Show. Caswells Shooting Range is Arizona's premier indoor and air-conditioned shooting range, plus the ultimate source for using and owning guns. And now, with an eye always on safety, it's time to pull the trigger with your hosts of Caswells Shooting Show, a couple of loose cannons, Paul Abella and Carol Ann Bergeson.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Mike.
How's it going?
Fantastic. Yourself?
Oh, not too bad.
It's wet out.
It's pretty wet.
Yeah. You know, when I came to America, right, I've probably told you this story, but it's a good story. I was packing, right, and for those in the UK, I was packing. Mark lived in my house and was packing my stuff in a big bag.
Yeah.
Right, and I put all my sweats in and jumpers and warm clothes. He said, you're going to live in the desert, you don't need to take any of that with you. So I took it out. Good plan. Thanks, Mark. Wherever you are.
Way to go, Mark. You didn't know that we get rain too.
Absolutely, yeah, way to go. Yeah, he said it's the desert. That made sense to me for some reason. I have no idea why.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's rare, sure.
Yes.
Sure, it's rare, but we have at least 2 months worth of accumulated days.
Yes.
Of, we got wet weather, we have cold weather.
I found out about cold weather.
Yeah.
I found out about cold weather when I jumped in my pool.
You're a fool.
That was a cold fool.
But, no, I mean, you know what it is because we get so used to the heat.
Yes.
That even, 60 degrees feels like 30 to us.
Yeah, I found that out. I'm getting there slowly. You guys can't drive in the rain, can you? Oh, sweet God. Seriously.
Like 62 accidents on the 101?
Oh, there are accidents everywhere. It's crazy. Not only do you guys normally travel 3 feet off the bumper of the car in front, right? Right. Fender. Is it not a Fender? What's a bumper? The big chrome.
Yeah, Fender.
Fender, okay. Not only do you normally drive at 3 feet off the bumper of the guy in front, right? When it rains, you drive at 2 feet off the bumper of the guy in front.
Yeah. The person in front of you is your fail-safe if you don't have brakes.
It would appear. That's why I drive the truck to work, not the Mini.
Yeah.
So I'm just pretty famous,
You'll just crush over them.
Absolutely. Or they hit me up the back and it don't matter.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it works for me. And then you get the people who turn on every light they possess. Fog lights, driving lights,
right.
Everything. And then
swamp
behind
lights,
them, swamp lights,
spotlights.
other lights, like light bars, and they've hired some lights
They
as well.
hold a flashlight out the window just
That's it.
because.
Yeah, cigarettes and lighters and all sorts of stuff, right? But then you get the guy driving behind who put nothing on at all.
Or their lights are so dirty it looks like nothing.
Yeah, or they just don't bother. Amazing. There you go.
Yeah.
So what we do for Super Bowl weekend, we ask ourselves.
We do ask ourselves that.
We do ask ourselves
I mean,
that.
first of all, who are you going? Seahawks, Patriots?
I have absolutely no idea.
Just neither or?
I know they're both football teams. That's
Not
all
real
I know.
football.
No,
Not real
football, definitely, because they don't actually kick the ball at any point except at the beginning of the game. It doesn't make no sense.
That always made me laugh.
Yeah.
'Cause I like soccer. I love watching the World Cup.
The World Cup is something else.
Yeah.
You've got to watch the World Cup.
Yeah.
If you ever want to watch me in pain, make me watch the World Cup. England in the World Cup.
Right.
It's just awful. It's
You
horrific.
guys got some serious fans.
We got some very serious fans.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. You go to an English bar during World Cup. I was in Teakwoods watching this World Cup this year, and we were playing Paraguay, who we subsequently lost to, unsurprisingly. And in the other corner of the bar, there were some Paraguay supporters. In England, that doesn't happen. You don't have different supporters in the same bar. It don't happen.
Yeah, it's scary.
You get all sorts of violence.
you guys have all the clubs.
Oh yeah, the club football's huge.
Manchester United.
Yeah, and you get violence like you've never seen. like we do violence.
Yo,
like big
I've
stuff.
seen Green Street Hooligans, and that's all about that.
Yeah, it is horrific. It's just a frightening thing. So you got that. So you got the Super Bowl, and then you got the golf.
And we got the Waste Management Open.
Yeah, so Tiger Woods has not done well today.
He's out.
Yeah, he is.
I think he's out.
He is. He's 11 over the par thing, whatever that is.
Yeah.
I don't play golf.
It's bad.
I played golf once. I moved the whole golf course left, and they told me I couldn't come back.
I never got the point system in golf.
No, I don't get golf.
You're in the negative. You're doing great.
Yeah, apparently so. Yeah. There you go. I tried that with the bank balance at work, and people tend to get upset with me, strangely. So Tiger's on his way home. He's only been here 2 days, 3 days, or however long it is. So he's not been here for 14 years, comes back for 2 days, and then goes home again.
Yeah.
It's the rain.
It's the rain, but, people booed him a lot, apparently, and I just think that's dumb.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a game.
Oh,
and they have like these huge expectations for him.
There's a guy called Bill Shankly who used to run the Liverpool Football Club, and he once said somebody said that football is as important as life or death, and he said no, it's more important than that, something like that. He put it a lot better than I did, which is why he's a football manager and I'm not.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, though.
Yes, it is, but don't ever tell that to an English football fan.
Oh, yeah. Don't tell it to any huge sports fan.
Absolutely not. God. So there's a UFC fight as well this weekend, as I understand it.
Oh, really?
Nate was telling me earlier. We're expecting Nate on in a short while. We hope he's winging his way through the traffic.
Knife guy.
The knife guy. Yeah,
the
man mountain. He's like 6'10", big guy. Yeah,
is he the one that cut a car apart?
He does the Ravencrest knives, and as an experiment, they put it through the roof of a car. And there was talk of trying to cut a car in half with one at some point. I don't know. We haven't got as far as that yet, but we will do at some point. See what we can do.
I think we had him on the phone once.
Yes, we did. Here. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we did.
So that was him?
Yes. And Ravenscrest have got some more stuff coming out in the near future, so he's going to come and talk to us about that, hopefully, with any luck.
With any luck.
But it is raining out there, very horrible. So
yeah, who knows? I've already heard of 3 accidents.
Oh, you should
scattered around here.
Try driving up the 101. Oh dear. But then you see the interesting thing with a weekend like this is you get half of America coming to Phoenix,
to Arizona,
to sunny Phoenix. Anyway, to Arizona, and all the ones that make it out of the airport without crashing into anything or each other. Right?
Yeah.
Well, and all the ones, especially that we're going to go and see the golf like today and tomorrow, because it's supposed to rain again tomorrow, as I understand it. They'll be sitting in hotel rooms with nothing to do. Oh no! Oh woe is me! Have we got a wah?
The all-new Dave Bradley.
Don't know what that is. You've changed all. Anyway,
no.
You've made my sounds go away. So the people from Seattle, and where's the other one from? Boston. Is it Boston? The other team? No. That's where the snow is.
I think it is. Boston, New England.
New England. That's where all the snow is. 3 feet of snow.
Yeah.
Right. So they're all here, sitting in the hotel rooms, wondering what to do with themselves. Right now, if you go to Seattle and then you go to New England, what can't you do? You can't shoot guns.
You can't shoot guns?
Well, you can't shoot very interesting guns anyway. Well, you certainly can't own them.
Yeah.
What do? We rent them. So this is. I've been putting this on Facebook all day and put it in the newsletter and what have you. You know, if you're out there and you're from Boston or New England New England Patriots, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. And Seattle, come down to Caswells. We've got some great bits and pieces going on. We might even do a prize for the longest travelled person who's come for the weekend.
Ooh.
Obviously, that would clearly be me, but right. But who's just
you just want a prize for yourself?
Oh hell yeah! I like prizes; they're fun. But we might even come up with some kind of prize. For the person who's travelled the furthest into Phoenix for the weekend for all the sports that are going on. That might be quite entertaining.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Oh dear, that wasn't one. So, if you are from Seattle or from Boston or whatever, we've got full autos. Now, you're not fired a full auto yet, have you, Mike?
No.
So, there you go. What an experience.
I wouldn't win the prize, but yeah.
You could. You could fly off somewhere now, right, and then fly back.
Right.
That would work.
I'll be back by tomorrow. I'll just show up to the range.
We got by the end of the weekend. Well, you're coming on Sunday, because I suspect the range will be fairly quiet on Sunday.
I suspect everything will be quiet except for the stadium.
Well, what time's the match? 4:30, isn't it? 4:30?
Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I think so, in the afternoon.
Oh, cool. We close at 5. So.
There you go.
There you go. Come see us, do some shooting. Miss the first half an hour of the game. Nothing going on.
For real.
Yeah, there you go.
It's going to be a nightmare. Don't take the 101. I would go down Glendale or something.
Well, they've shut half the roads, as I understand it.
Yeah. Well, it's because we have the Waste Management Open, the Super Bowl, and all these things collided at once. Yes. And now it's just it's a nightmare.
Well, it's a huge sport weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Even in the UK, they took the Golf Open to the UK once, in a place called Sandwich, near where I had a house. And they were offering me $10,000 for the weekend to rent my house out. Crazy money.
Did you do it?
I didn't, silly, but because I had tenants in it and they didn't want to go, funnily enough.
Oh,
I offered them $5,000. They still wouldn't go, but what can you do?
Yeah.
But it's a huge weekend. I've never seen a weekend of sport anywhere like this.
I think a lot of people are doing that, though.
It's crazy.
Renting out their places.
Oh, I would. But there was a woman who rented her place out to a couple to do something. I thought it was an old lady and her husband or something, and they ended up having like a frat party there. Like destroyed the house. Absolutely destroyed the house. Like $15,000 worth of damage or something. It was on the radio last week.
Jesus.
Crazy stuff. What can you do?
Yeah. Oh man.
So, what we're saying this weekend? If you don't like football and you don't like golf and you don't want to get wet, or you don't want to get wet, so they'll close the roof on the stadium, will they? If it rains.
Yeah.
Okay. But in the run up to the weekend, what better thing could you possibly do than come shooting?
Blow off some steam.
Absolutely, because you're coming from states where shooting is not a huge thing, and you can't get the weaponry you can get here. And it's not quite so accessible. And we got some great little offers going on. You can shoot a full auto at Caswells with a box of ammunition and a shirt. You actually get a shirt with Caswells written on it, right?
Get a free T-shirt, people.
A free T-shirt, $74.99. How cool is that? That's with a box of ammunition as well.
So just blow away.
Yep,
that's awesome.
It is. It doesn't last long. not in a HK UMP. That lasts long at all. But it's certainly worth doing.
Yeah.
You should come and do it. What stops you coming to firing a full auto then, Mike? Apart from you've got a Kia which won't go that far.
Oh, yeah, really? It can go farther than most, I think.
Most what?
Most automobiles.
Cars that aren't going, right. So what stops you coming and shooting a full auto?
Nothing, I suppose.
There you go. So you should come down and be a beacon carrier. For those who... I keep doing that. For those who haven't yet fired an auto, we can take pictures of you and everything.
There you go.
Cool
I'm going to just represent my free T-shirt. And
absolutely.
I'll wave it like a flag of glory.
Yeah, you can wear it because you've only got extra large. So,
well, there you go.
So put it on a flagpole and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be cool. but we've got a great range of guns. You come see Jackie. Jackie's our premier salesperson.
Premier.
The premier. Or the Premier Division, as they call it in the UK. But so you can come and look at the guns. You can buy a gun. I could sell you a gun. What sort of gun would you like?
I like the single-shot rifles.
Single shot.
I like bolt action.
We've got some bolt actions. I can do a good price on a bolt action.
Yeah, that's the rifle I have. My dad, dad's dad.
Yeah,
passed it down and whatever. Yeah. I got it.
Nice.
It's a 22 bolt action. It's wood stock and everything.
Very nice too.
Pretty nice. So.
Very nice. What did you think of the show last week? What did you think of Lad?
Lad.
Wasn't that fun?
Oh, man. Lad, if you're listening.
Wasn't that a great show?
I'm a fan of you. He was, you know what was cool? You guys got along pretty well.
I know, he surprised me. He surprised me hugely. The show didn't surprise me particularly because I knew the way it was going to go. Right? There was going to be a row about Second Amendment. That much I already knew. Right?
Well, Nim and Don,
it was going to be. It was going to be. And both have got diametrically opposing views, some of which I agree with, some of which I don't.
Yeah.
Great stuff. It's great to see. I hesitate to use the word argument, but full and frank exchange of views, as we say in the UK, between people who are so diametrically opposite.
Yeah.
But Lad was he was a lot. That particular organisation seems to be a lot closer to like what we do and what we represent than I certainly thought they were.
They're sensible.
Yeah, so
They're very
absolutely.
sensible.
We didn't touch on a lot of stuff that we fundamentally disagree about, and I kept it fairly middle ground. But when he said about sort of reassessing people who have had some kind of mental illness, that was huge to me, and especially to Chris who was here, like the counsellor, because once you were assessed here to have some kind of mental issue, that's it. That's no more firearms, and that's hard. That's a hard thing. But a real great show. Really enjoyed that show.
Yeah,
probably one of the best ones we've done.
I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been good. What a good little show. So
we'll have to have you back, Lad.
Oh, most definitely.
We have your number.
Oh, yes.
And you can always call in. Anyone can call in.
Yes. What's the number, Mike?
Oh, we got it right here.
Go for it. You've written it down, haven't you?
480-421-0640.
Fantastic. Or you can ring Caswells and inquire about coming down and shooting one of our fantastic full auto firearms on 480-497-5141. I would say ask for me, but I'm not there. That would make no sense.
Here.
Yeah.
So call us or them.
Yeah, or call the show. Or I could give people my mobile number, but that would go really, really badly.
Yeah.
Because I get groupies and stuff.
It's
why understandable.
Not?
It's understandable. I'm at the beginning of my fame and fortune.
You're just getting too big.
That's it. Well, when I go to Hollywood, why doesn't my phone work anymore? When I go to Hollywood, my phone doesn't actually work anymore. That's really not good. When I go to Hollywood, I'll remember you.
Cool.
I won't phone you or anything.
That's all I ask for.
I won't phone you or anything. I'll just remember you. I'll just go, oh, I remember Mike.
At least when I'm sleeping in my one-bedroom apartment at night, I'll know Paul's thinking of
Absolutely. I won't think of you for long.
just a minute.
Just a passing thought, yeah. Because when I fly the helicopter, I'll get down to about where these windows are and I can wave on the way past. So how cool is that? What a nice man I am.
Oh, man.
So I think we're going to go for a break in a minute. Just a couple of minutes. We're going to go for a break.
We could try to get a hold of Nate.
And we're going to speak to, see if we can get hold of Nate on the phone and see where we go from there. And because I really want to talk about his knives, because the Ravencrest knives are really, really nice pieces of kit. They sell unbelievably well, and they're a really nice price point. That is somewhat below the Benchmades and what have you. But the quality is really, really there. I've got one. My wife's got one. A lot of the guys in the shop have bought them as well now because they've got the glass breakers on them and what have you as well. And I'm not sure what new products he's got, but if it's anywhere near as good as the knives, it's going to be fantastic. It'll be very, very cool. Sweetness. Okay, so shall we go for a break?
We shall.
Fantastic. I'll see you back in a minute, Phoenix.
They all run along and have some fun. I'll see you when you get back, but I'll be up all night, still cleaning this gun.
You're listening to the Double Wide Network, where you can host your own radio show. If you're looking for a way to get out your message, welcome to the future. Dave Pratt's Double Wide Network offers you the opportunity to use our state-of-the-art studio to create your very own radio show. Our experienced and helpful production staff will help you every step of the way. Our free mobile app allows your listeners to take your show with them and play it live or on demand. Even if you're not in Arizona, we've got you covered with Skype technology so you can broadcast from anywhere in the world. Whether you're in it to grow your business, make a statement, deliver a message, or just have fun hosting your own show, the Double Wide Network can make it happen. The Double Wide Network always has your show ready to go. For more information, just visit us at doublewidenetwork.com. Caswells, Mesa's premier air-conditioned indoor shooting range, has the largest selection of firearms and accessories in the East Valley. Highly trained, friendly staff instruct classes for any level, women and beginners included. Visit Caswells.com or come in just off US 60 in Stapley.
I remember the moment. I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
As long as I live.
Several of us were working to rescue a family.
The house collapsed on top of the cellar door and trapped them.
We had to use Humvees and heavy machinery to move massive trees and debris.
We got them out.
We helped a lot of people out.
It felt good to know I could really make a difference.
Because I'm a citizen soldier in the National Guard.
Be there the moment your community needs you. Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Arizona National Guard. Aired by the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
Learning to shoot is a valuable skill. Learn at Caswells, Mesa's premier indoor shooting range. Fully certified instructors and highly trained staff are ready to help place personal safety back in your hands responsibly. Comprehensive training for all levels, plus new classes for women and beginners. Caswells offers the largest selection of firearms and accessories in the East Valley. Come to Caswells to train, shoot, and have fun. Visit us at Caswells.com or just off the US 60 and Stapley Drive in Mesa.
I got my ticket for the long way round, a bottle of whiskey for the way, and I sure would like some sweet company, and I'm leaving tomorrow, what do you say, when I'm gone, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone, you're gonna miss me by my hair, miss me, gonna miss me when I'm gone. I got my ticket for the long way round, a bottle of whiskey for the way, and I sure would like some sweet company, and I'm leaving tomorrow, what do you say, when I'm gone? Gone. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. gonna miss me when I'm gone.
Oh my god!
So you think that was the soundtrack that I sent you the other day, didn't you? That was me. I've been practicing.
Oh man, your voice is really great.
It's good, isn't it? I've even lost the accent in places. I'm lucky to make that noise ever. So
I think Nate's gonna pop up in just a minute.
yeah, Nate, I believe he's in the lift.
Yes.
We should actually. I should get my wife's GoPro that I bought her for her birthday. We should attach it to guests and have them run around outside or something. That'd be cool. Or
should do it at the shooting range. That'd be cool. Video.
That's a very good idea. We put some really, really good stuff on Facebook last week.
Yeah.
Some pictures that we did. We're doing our new brochures at the moment. I'm being creative.
Wow.
Doesn't happen often. I'm being creative. So I used to be a photographer.
You're creative every Friday with me.
Of course. You might want to rephrase that a lot, actually.
Yeah. That didn't come
That's
out
not,
right.
you want to rephrase that
on
as well.
The show.
There we go. Thank
on
you very
radio.
Much. Fantastic. Let's have a...
with our ideas.
That's better. Now, we're reshooting the catalogue at the minute, like the store brochure. So we're redoing all the classes and what have you, because we're just starting to write like family classes and safety classes in view of some of the terrible things that's happened recently.
Absolutely.
So we're doing the home defence classes like we spoke about last week, and we're also I'm getting together with the guys to write a family safety class next Tuesday, I think, somewhere around there. But we got together to do all the pretty pictures, and we put some pretty pictures online. And there's some more pretty pictures to come.
Pretty pictures.
Pretty pictures. Yeah. We spent the whole day on the range.
That's really good. You know, I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, even Lad was impressed with you guys on, and I think any gun, place. What was it? What's the acronym? The FPs?
Oh, the NSSF.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any company like that should follow your guys' example.
Absolutely.
The classes, the training. It's a firearm, for God's sake.
But this is it. I don't agree with the. I don't agree with this. Like buy a gun and amble around with it. I don't necessarily disagree with it because people do have a natural ability. But if you've got families out there who have got kids, if you don't actually do some training, you must really.
Do you love them?
Yeah, you can do this stuff. It's a dangerous thing. You don't buy a car and just take it out and drive it. Admittedly, here the test is ridiculously easy. And it doesn't need to be. You don't need to necessarily have an element of compunction, but just have some sense.
Yeah,
this isn't rocket science. Hello, Nate.
How's it going, Paul?
Fantastic. Yourself?
Good. It's a little wet out there.
It is very wet out there, isn't it?
Arizona's awesome.
Arizona's great.
You get 3 inches of water and everyone loses their mind on the road.
I was just going to say that.
No, it's ridiculous. Like I'm a native, so it's not like I'm from the East Coast, but I've driven all around and.
Yeah.
Man, like you throw some rain on people here, and it's like 12 inches of snow anywhere else.
It's crazy, isn't it? We were talking about it earlier on. In the drive, people drive 3 feet off each other's bumper.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
In the rain, it's 2 feet off everyone.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost overkill to see how people are safe, and they think they're being safe, but really, it's not.
I've never seen anything like it.
And the worst excuse is they're like, this never happens. It happens the same time every year.
Yeah.
Prepare yourself.
Yeah.
And they think they can stop in the same distance.
Yeah.
Like, really? It's not rained for like a year.
Yeah, and then that's the thing, like, from people who don't maybe know, it's dusty here. You throw some water on dust and
that's it.
It gets slippery. Yeah. So
and oil that's been dumped down there for a year.
Yeah.
Mild escape, for example.
Yeah. Getting here was fun. Yeah, so it's always exciting.
You'll see my truck out there. That's why, because I bought Grace a Mini a couple of weeks ago, Mini Cooper S. And that ain't coming out in this weather. That's
I have a pickup myself, and this weather's actually having a pickup truck. It's like having Disneyland.
Oh,
outside.
Absolutely! It's just fantastic. You can see for miles around people kissing each other, and if they hit you out the back, it don't matter.
No, yeah,
because there's like 8 feet between me and them. It's fantastic. And I've got a 7.3 V8 at the front, so that don't matter either.
Oh my gosh,
fantastic!
That's the big boy.
Yeah, it's a big.
I like that
250 diesel. That works for me.
Oh,
that's a good little truck.
I like that
tiny weeny little truck. So it's only 23 feet long.
Jeez Louise!
I bought it on eBay. Didn't realise what I was buying.
Really?
Yeah, seriously.
I've actually done that before.
Yeah. Flew to Texas to pick it up, got out of the airport, went, no.
Like you were surprised, happy?
I was just, I couldn't believe how huge it was.
Holy crap.
I had no idea.
23 feet for real?
Yeah.
That's a boat.
Yeah, it's out
there.
It's
a tank.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. It's fantastic. I love it. There was a boat in this. That works for me.
That's fantastic.
So how's Ravencrest getting on?
We're good. We're
fantastic.
getting into the new year and trying to get our feet planted, get ourselves geared up.
You had a good Christmas, didn't you?
We did. We had a lot of cool things go on with Christmas, and got to break my car, got to destroy it.
Did you destroy it?
Yeah. Actually, I think it was probably maybe a week after I was in here last.
Yeah.
We ended up sourcing someone that had a couple cars that they were about to drop off for scrap.
Oh wow!
So went out there and just.
Yeah, just destroyed them.
Fantastic. It was fun. Yeah.
Did you hack them up with knives?
We did. We brought the knives out and broke glass, cut through the panels, seats, just kind of showing, trying to, in a sense, just trying to break them.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of my job, is to go out there and see if I could break them.
And you do very well at breaking them.
I actually did break the tip of one, but we still kept going.
Wow.
It's still, and that's no big deal for us.
Grace loves your knives. She thinks they're fantastic. You can't take it off her. No, she takes it to work. She takes it.
What does she have? A little mini?
No, she's got the full-size nemesis.
Oh, very
full
nice.
Nemesis. She loves all that. If I gave her a little one, she'd hate it.
That's not. She's used to it. Yeah, but it's been good.
We've got a man who's going to come and say hello. Come and say hello, Dave. Come and say hello. Come on. You know you want to. Hello, Dave. Just say hello really quickly because I haven't seen you for weeks. How you doing, Dave?
What is up, my man? How are you?
So, this is how a star does it. I'm just an incompetent person who comes and makes noise.
Oh, you're a star. Congrats on the show, man.
Thank you. This is Dave Pratt.
No. Like the Morning Mayor. Like I said, I'm a native. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I grew up listening to you, my friend.
Where'd you go to high school at?
Mountain View.
Okay.
Yeah,
right. Toros, baby.
Yeah.
Okay. I bet you played football. You're a big guy.
No, I never did.
Really?
When I was there, they actually had talent, like a lot of talent. Todd Heap was in my graduating class.
Oh, yeah, ASU boy, Baltimore Ravens. You're a fan, right?
Tight end, yeah. Like so there was no, like I had the height, but zero talent, and they had plenty of talent.
What year did you get out of Mountain View?
98.
Okay.
So
those are good years. So you were listening to me on KUPD at the time.
I was listening to literally the Morning Mayor, the drive, the whole drive in.
See, Paul, I told you I had a listener.
What can I say? Yeah. He's my listener as well. We're sharing him now.
Hey, Caswells is rocking, man. The show.
Wasn't that good last week?
Yes.
Did you hear the show?
Huge. Every Sunday morning, I get on my torture machine, my exercise bike, and I catch up, baby.
Yeah.
Everything's on demand listening, I mean, live audiences are awesome, but it's all about on demand. So I listen when I want to listen. So it's kind of nice.
Absolutely.
Sometimes I binge listen. If I miss on a Sunday, sometimes I'll catch a couple shows, and that's just the way people listen now.
Absolutely.
It's 2015.
It was a good show last week. I spent like 3 months trying to get an anti-gun person on.
Yeah.
Or 4 months, and I finally found one, and it was actually really good radio for a change.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
As opposed to just me doing stuff.
But congrats on the show. I'm on my way to host an event tonight. Get this, for the Phoenix Open, the weather really calls for it, right?
Oh, you're going to be doing well with that one.
Oh, my gosh. I didn't even think of that. So did they cancel?
No, they actually played.
Yeah.
They played through?
Yeah. Tiger Woods is out. So I heard that on the radio on the way up.
It's they actually played today. They got if they don't play, then think of the mess it would cause.
No
Not
kidding.
only does it back up all the qualifications, and by the way, Tiger isn't going to qualify for the last 2 days.
No, he's out.
But on the business side, if they don't play, then they have to prorate all the sponsors, and that has to be. So they're like, guys, get out there and just swing a club, and we're good.
No lightning, get out there.
Yeah.
That's the only chance I've ever got to play a good round of golf in weather like this. I've got no chance otherwise. No.
Right.
I don't do golf. I bend clubs, move the whole golf course. It's not good.
So I'm getting all my rain jokes together for tonight and set to go. But congrats on the show, Paul.
Awesome.
We love Caswells. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you very much, Dave. I'll speak to you next week sometime.
Very good and nice to meet you.
Pleasure to
Okay?
meet you,
Mountain
Dave.
View, baby.
Hey,
98 all the way.
Right on.
Enjoy.
Hey, it was a pleasure.
Cheers, Dave. Thanks, mate. There you go.
That's hilarious.
Well,
Not hilarious, but man, that's funny to
Absolutely.
to see that. Like literally, I mean, for over until he didn't do it anymore. Like listen to that morning radio every morning.
When we first started doing this show, or we first started talking about doing the show, everybody was saying to me, go and talk to Dave Pratt. I said to him, I'm going to talk to Dave Pratt. Who's Dave Pratt? No
Really?
idea. I've never heard of the man. Not until I came here.
Yeah.
Now I know, yeah.
I mean, a local rock legend. I mean,
Yeah.
He was
cool guy.
He was playing like old tunes back in the day. Like I learned a lot about rock and roll from that guy. So it was cool. Yeah,
nice one. So have you got some new products coming out?
We do. Well, we're playing around with a few things. We got we have some new colors coming out.
Oh,
so
really? Can you do bespoke colors?
Which ones?
Can you do like any color you like? Can you
pretty much?
Okay.
When we conceive it, when we come up with an idea, we can work it out and dive into the coloring codes and all that and figure it out. So with our new batch, we're going to have some. So we have the mini knives.
Yes.
And we have our fully customized full size knives.
Yes.
So we're bringing the customization in the minis now.
Okay.
So we'll be able
to
custom code. You can have one side one color, the other side another color.
Yeah.
We have.
Oh wow.
We've opened up our how many blade styles we have. So instead of 4, now we have 9.
Really?
So we have a lot of variety, and the new colors are pretty cool. Like we have one that's a gold color. I know that sounds kind of interesting, but we a lot of our demographic is like the Call of Duty people, like the gamers and.
I suppose it would be.
I was a little hesitant at first. I'm like, I don't know, a gold knife like that it was in my mind. It was either going to look really cool or really cheap.
Yeah.
And luckily, it came out looking really cool.
Well, it's funny you should say. I came up that way up the road earlier on under the Fashion Mall, and there was a Beamer came out that was bright gold.
I've seen that.
Yeah, and it was bright gold. And when it was looking at the lights, I thought, "Wow, you are so tragic."
Yeah.
Right. But as he pulled out, what they'd actually done was done the sides in gold, and right across sort of the roof and down the boot was black. Right.
Oh my gosh!
And it actually looked quite good.
Was it very shiny gold?
Yes.
See, that's what I'm not. I've seen those, and for me, like I like more of the kind of almost like the gold bars, where it's not fully shiny. It's got a little bit of like a matte finish.
Yeah.
So it's more of a matte gold.
Yeah.
And we got that. We have a color. Like, it's very similar to what you would consider a Spider-Man color. So we have a Spider-Man blue with some red components. We have some. We have an Iron Man kind of looking knife, like a maroon and gold, ASU and that kind of stuff.
Very nice.
And we have a few other interesting colors. Yeah. And then, but our big project is still moving into the USA D2 steel. That's our big thing for the year. And
what are the advantages of that?
It's a better quality steel.
Right. Okay.
Right now we're using 440C, which is great. Yeah. But actually now it's a lot of our customers that want a stronger steel.
Okay.
Like they like our stuff and they use it, but they just want to carry something that has the ability to do more.
Okay, that's interesting. When's that like to hit the store?
Right, it's in development right now. We should. I'm hoping by beginning of the second quarter, so around May. Cool. Hoping to launch it.
So will you be manufacturing them in the valley, or are they coming from elsewhere?
No, they'll be coming from elsewhere. We actually tried to get it sourced here locally, and we just couldn't get done. So
that's interesting.
We had to kind of do a little gymnastics to get it done this year. Otherwise, we would have been still waiting and searching.
Yeah.
So our goal is still to have it all done here. That's our goal, is to get it done in the valley. Yeah. And we're working on it. But to get the project kind of moving, we needed to look other ways. We're getting all our materials from the States.
Yes.
We actually just have to have things done elsewhere.
Okay. I find the same thing we're having with maintaining the backstop in the range. The bit that catches the bullets. Yeah. It's all made of very heavy steel. I'm not going to bore you with all the technical details.
I love that stuff.
It's 550R steel. Plates of it 3/8 of an inch thick.
So that's what's behind the stopper to catch the bullets.
There's a big sort of V-shaped thing that catches bullets. I'll show you when you come down next.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm a nerd like that. So.
Oh, yeah, you and me both. And occasionally it needs repairing, right? So not only does it weigh a ton, a plate, 4 feet by 3 weighs about 400, 500 pounds.
Jeez.
And it's in a really awkward angle to try and get it out of the range. Long story. But because it's so hard, it's very, very difficult to actually work with. It's very difficult to weld. And we thought we could actually bend them in the way we needed to bend them to make them fit properly. And across the road from where we are, there's a big plant place, like earth movers and stuff that maintain them. Go to them, they put in a 1,000-ton press. They bent it to 6 inches the other way.
Holy
right?
cow.
Heated it up first, bent it right over, took it out of the press, and it just sprang straight back.
Really? It just didn't even hold?
No, didn't even hold. Don't know what to do with it now.
Holy cow. Steel's cool.
I love doing it.
Now that I've actually dove in a little bit to the science of it, learning about the carbon levels and what that does, and what a hard steel is versus soft, advantages, disadvantages, and trying to find that kind of balance in our world. Like being a knife maker, we want to have the strongest knife possible that's still able to be sharp.
Absolutely.
And that's not impossible to sharpen on your own.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, some of those bigger steels you get, it's a little tricky for the average person to kind of work with it.
Absolutely.
We want to still have things that are above what the average guy is going to do, but you can still take it apart and think with it at your house.
Absolutely. The problem with the metals we use on the range, and because I'm actually manufacturing stuff to go into the stopper now. How hard do you make it? That's the issue, because if you make it really hard, the bullets bounce off it.
Right.
If you make it too soft, it just rips it.
So it's got to be that balance to catch it, but not
exactly
truly keep it.
Yeah. And again, we're not a metallurgy metallurgy.
Metallurgy. I think is what metal. Metal guys.
Yeah, metal guys. So we haven't got all the kit.
I always like to say alchemists because that's just a cool word, and not many people know what it means.
Absolutely.
So
this works for me.
This is a cool word.
It's an English word that works for me.
Is it? Oh yeah,
I believe so. Yeah, Prince.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll buy it.
That works for me.
You said it with great confidence, so I believe you. You can pretty much get me on anything if you say it confidently.
I've been a salesman for 30 years. What can I say?
Yeah. I actually made that word up.
Absolutely.
Really? Fantastic.
I've just had a thought. I bought my wife a Mini Cooper a couple of weeks ago. I'd love to see you try and get in it.
You know what? I'll actually tell you this. I fit phenomenal in them.
Do you really?
Like I used to have a BMW addiction, and when I would bring my Beamers in for service, they would, give me their loaner cars. And I remember just one day they're like, "I'm so sorry. Like we don't have anything for you but a Mini." I'm like, "I don't care. Like I'll shoehorn." It had so much headroom. Like it was an amazing room. I thought I'd be.
I remember the commercials they were making for them back in the day. They had NBA players in the commercial, and then they were inside it, and it was all small.
Wow.
Legit. I mean, I wouldn't say I'd want to own it and drive it every day, but it wasn't like I've actually. What's really awkward is seeing me get into a Porsche. Now that's truly like trying to.
Little sports car.
Yeah, if you're not 5'8", or below that, it's pretty.
I saw coming up through Scottsdale last week the Porsche Hybrid, the new Porsche Hybrid.
Oh, really?
The really expensive one with the exhausts at the back.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
Yeah, I saw one, a blue one. Come out over there the other week.
Oh, I think that's a 917.
Yeah, 917 or 18.
Something like that. Actually, I've seen pictures, but like in the photo, like in the car mags.
Yeah, that's it. I saw one live the other weekend. It pulled out on me at the traffic lights down the corner there.
It
was very impressive.
Is there anything better than guns, cars?
Women,
beer, sports?
Not women, I don't know.
Knives.
My wife, obviously.
Yeah, knives are good. But weapons, guns, so it's all in there.
Fish and chips. Beer. Fish and chips, beer. You've got to come and have fish and chips with me at some point.
Locally, do you have a good spot? Because I actually really like fish and chips.
Tilted Kilt on Warner. That's the best fish and chips in the valley.
I'm down. That's actually that's one of my favorite go-tos at pub eating. Would be fish and chips.
We go there every Friday night now. I'll pick the missus up from work. Off we go down there. Any of my listeners who want to come and meet me, Tilted Kilt, and want to buy me a beer as well, that'd be nice.
Hint.
I'm going to end up in a bar and get slapped now. I can see it coming. But we always go there straight after the show. I'll pick the wife up and we go down there and sit there and just do fish and chips. It's fantastic. Really nice fish and chips.
I'm gonna have to try that out because I ruined myself by having fish and chips in London.
Yes.
The legit. Yeah. And I mean, obviously, you know what. And I ordered went out there. Was like, I'll just have fish and chips like I order at home. And I got a plate the size of like my body. I was like, whoa, like for real fish and chips. And coming back, I was trying to replicate that, and I haven't. No, you even come close.
Tilted Kilt was the closest I've come here. Bisbee,
that's exciting.
There's a restaurant in Bisbee that does very well as well. Their advert says fish and chips better than the British, so I've got to go there. Clearly.
Oh, yeah, that's those are big words.
Yeah, but they were expensive. But Tilted Kilt's $9, $14 tonight for all the fish you can eat.
Oh my gosh!
And I can eat a lot of fish.
I could probably down a school of fish too.
Oh yeah, I'm there.
Yeah.
There was lots of crude comments after we finished eating there, but I shan't bore you with those.
No, hey, you're not going to hurt my virgin ears.
No, but the listeners may be offended.
Oh,
or my listener, my listener somewhere. I must have a listener somewhere.
This is fantastic. I love this show. It's always a pleasure.
Absolutely,
it's a joy to get invited. It is.
Did you hear the show last week?
I didn't.
No, it was good. We had a guy from the Coalition Against Gun Violence on.
Oh, no, that's what you were talking about. You had a gun hater.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
It went really well, actually. I was surprised how close he came to our point of view. It was quite surprising.
As in he changed his point of view, or he wasn't that far away from...
He wasn't that far away in certain aspects. There's other aspects on which we violently disagree.
Sure.
But just on training, he agrees with the training, doesn't think that everybody should have their guns taken away. Then you go on to the compunction about training, and that's where we start to fall out, and then it gets bigger sort of the further you go. But a really interesting guy, really interesting guy, and that's what's nice about getting him on the show. All credit to the guy; he actually had the balls to come on the show.
I was about to say, that's actually, you got to give kudos to someone who's about to walk into a lion's den.
Oh, absolutely.
In this state, to be anti-gun is
it's harsh. Yeah,
that's a tough stand. You know what I mean?
I sent out 30 emails. I got 2 back. One was go away in really short movements, and the other one was this guy lad who came on. That was really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's good. I mean, it's good to have that kind of dialogue.
Oh, absolutely. So with your customization on your knives, let's go back to that for a minute. So Aston Martin, if you take them your shirt, they'll do you a colour. Yeah. They'll do a car in that colour. Is that sort of something that you can do?
It is something we can do. It is something we do. It's not something we've offered.
Yeah.
We've never offered it to say, hey, we can do that kind of. You have a color that you just love. You got to have it. Now we could definitely do that for. I don't know. There'd have to be some logistics to it. Like I'm sure it would cost a little bit more, but it wouldn't be crazy. It wouldn't be like it's $1,000. It might be a $50 fee.
Because I found out the other day how they paint or how they put the colour onto the knives that they camouflage, the guns that camouflage.
Okay.
I found out how they did that the other day. I was stunned.
There's the dipping process.
That's it, the
water transfer.
Yeah.
There's a company here that I've actually kind of reached out to because I always pronounce it wrong. You'll know the name of it. It's Cryptek. Is that right? Cryptek Camo?
Oh, God. Yeah, I know who you mean.
Kryptek.
That's it. I'm sure. Cryptek.
They have a couple of just amazing camos. One's called Typhoon, and there's another one that's just a really cool snakeskin looking thing.
Yeah.
And we wanted to get it on our knives.
Okay.
And there's only one place here that does it, and they do that water transfer where they dip it in the
just
bath.
lower it in, don't they?
Yeah.
It's so cool to watch.
Because I always thought with guns, like your powder coat, everything's powder coat. That's where my mind went. Like you metal coat, you powder coat.
And away you go.
Or a spray can. You get the Krylon or something.
And some guy who's really clever at it with a masking thing, you spray it on.
Yeah, or like it's not Krylon, but the
that stuff.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it'll come to me in a minute.
Those guys are awesome, though. Like they're home kits where you can kind of make your own camo. And
it's fantastic.
If you know what you're doing.
That really appeals to me, and especially with the engraving as well. Because we had a knife engraved for one of the guys at work.
Yeah, it's one of the Fallen Hero ones, wasn't it? Or was it just a regular one?
It was a Fallen Hero, I think, from memory.
Yeah.
We had it engraved for a guy at work, and it looked amazing once it had been engraved. On the blade, we had it writing down both sides.
Yeah.
It looked absolutely amazing. Well impressed.
Yeah, to me, it's when the guys engrave them, I think they become the showpiece. That's when you they do kind of put it up on the shelf and it makes sense.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's always a bummer for us, like with those Fallen Hero knives. We enjoy doing it, but it's always like the story behind it's always a little bit of a bummer because we as a company, like I personally have 2 brother-in-laws now that are active in the valley doing police, like they're active police officers and they're out there. It's like. Right, that's scary. So,
my wife, she wants to join the police force.
Does she really?
Yeah, you met Grace, didn't you? Grace,
I don't know if I ever did.
You might not.
I may have forgotten too. My memory's a little spotty sometimes. Yeah.
But she wants to join the police. That's a worrying thing. Yeah. She's not huge.
What does she want to do? Like actually go out there and get bad guys?
Yeah, she wants to be a cop. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, and Josh, who was on the show with you a couple of weeks ago, he's going to take her out on a ride along at some point soon.
No doubt.
So we'll go from there. And then the guy got shot in Flagstaff a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
I saw the video of that. It's one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever seen.
I couldn't watch the video.
No, it's not actually of him getting shot.
Oh, okay.
It's the run up to it, like the events that led to it. And so tragic, really tragic. Just like that. Just the whole encounter just goes from like us talking like this to bang.
That's so scary. That's
scary thing. Real scary thing. And I'm not averse to it. I'm born and brought up in London. It is what it is. And you're a huge guy. But it's not like, well, I'm big and tough and I can handle myself, so I shall be a cop. It just went from nothing to the guy getting blown away in a heartbeat.
Yeah, there's a hard to rationalize a reason how to deal with that kind of scenario. Like if there's no forewarning, what do you do?
Yeah, and the guy who was the activist, the black activist in Phoenix, who's changed his mind on a lot of stuff recently.
No, I don't know if I saw that.
Oh God, what's his name? He was really into getting the guy who shot the guy who transpired to be unarmed a little while ago, a couple of months back. What's his name? It'll come to me in a minute. But then Arpaio put him through the training with the police.
Oh, was that video?
Loffen?
Did they put that on the internet? Like it was like an activist who went through like the actual
Gerald
scenario training.
That's it, Gerald Loffen.
Is that what it is? Where they put him through like, okay, so you're going to go into a field. There's going to be bad guys and good guys, and you have to decide.
That's it.
And
he got shot twice.
He failed horribly or something.
Yeah, he would have been shot twice. And he changed his mind on that, shooting, and now because he was backing the university professor that was trying to get that cop sacked for the jaywalking thing. And he's changed his mind on that as well now. And that really speaks out for, like, we got the guy from the Coalition Against Gun Violence. And
right.
It's surprising how far towards us he actually is. right? And now you've got Jared Loughlin. I'm sure it's Jared Loughlin. If your name's Jared Loughlin and I've got this wrong, I'm sorry.
Yeah. There's a guy out there named Jared Loughlin. He's like, it's not me.
but then you see this other guy as well. He actually works out sees what's actually real, actually in the real world, what these guys have to put up with.
Oh, I couldn't even imagine.
And he changes his mind like that. So all these people who sit in comfy chairs somewhere, like criticising the police who look after them, right? Actually go out there and see what they actually go through.
Yeah, or bring up those criticisms to an active officer, and even deeper. Like we have people, close friends who are in like the DEA locally, and some of the stories that we hear from them, it's like, wow, that's pretty crazy stuff you guys do and deal with, and then they're really balanced individuals. That's what I find. Like they don't bring that home with them. Like what they see and do at their work, it's
together
shocking.
kind of guys. Yeah, it is.
And then they come home and they're like regular people. Yeah, they come over and have beers, watch fights, and everyone's that's legit.
Absolutely. We've got a friend in the Border Patrol, and that's the thing Grace looked into for that as well. And it says on the form, like, you will see dead bodies on a regular basis. Like, are you okay with that?
The job?
On the job description application, whatever, which is written online. Are you okay with, you will see dead bodies, you will find dead bodies?
I think they need to put that on the Walmart application and just see if people actually catch it. Just mess with people and be
if you put it on a Walmart advert, they're able to read it. I'm in so much trouble now.
They'll have a little like those birthday cards where you open it and it talks. That's what they'll be able to push the button and it'll just speak it.
See, I think it's wrong that when you have an election, that the Walmart employees should be required to sign their application, to sign their ballot paper.
Excellent. Sorry, Walmart people.
Sorry, I love Walmart. Really.
I'm probably shop there on my way home, so I'm a hypocrite.
Oh no, I'm going up. I'll shop in Fry's now.
Oh, that's actually my favorite. So I actually I hoard my fuel points.
Do you?
I do. And I actually, the other day, I had a moment where I was like, this is what it's all about.
Yep.
I filled up my Denali, which last time I filled it up, it was probably $85.
Yeah.
I got it for under $20.
Oh, really?
Because with my fuel points, it cut it $1, and it was at $1.77. It was 77 cents.
God.
I actually printed the receipt out. I taped it up on my wall. I'll never forget this day.
Cool.
Because I remember last summer when I was in San Diego, I paid $4.89.
Wow, that's
in Coronado.
Crazy money. Well, that truck out there's got a 37-gallon tank, right?
But he's diesel, so he'll last what?
Oh, 600 miles, 650 miles, something like that.
Holy cow!
But it was costing me $145 to fill it up from nothing. I filled it up the other day. I filled it up this morning, $50, and it's nearly full.
It's almost like you want to keep filling it up because you're afraid that it's going to, like in another month, the oil gods are going to be like, nope.
Yep, $10 million a gallon.
Time to go back to,
I'm going to fill the whole bed with diesel.
We'll have barrels of oil in our house, just stockpiling them up.
Absolutely, I'm going to dig a hole and have a big tank under the garden. But you can. Have you been to Fry's in Maricopa?
I have. They have the coverings. Is that the one where they have the shade coverings for your car? Or is that Bashas' in Maricopa?
That's Bashas'.
Okay.
But Fry's in Maricopa's got the worst car park in the world.
The worst what?
The worst car park.
Parking
really? Lot.
Gotcha.
And she had a long day at work, stressed. Like people have done silly things on the range, right?
Yeah.
And then you got to try and get out of Fry's car park. Oh dear! If ever I'm going to get in trouble, it's going to be trying to get out of Fry's car park. I swear.
You're going to just rage on people, or
it's just awful because you come to a three-way stop at the end, but there's no stop signs.
Oh no!
And then when you turn left, I'm boring everybody with this. Now. When you turn left, the light stays green for about 30 seconds. So you come down here and nobody will let you out. So I'll just drive at people in the truck.
But you got the big truck. So
absolutely.
It's called having the right of way. Like when you have the big truck.
Who has the right of way? The man with the
big
F-250.
truck.
That's what it says.
Yeah, like in the driving books it should.
It works for me.
Because like the Prius rarely gets the right of way.
No, not if I'm around. It doesn't anyway. But and then people who upset me on the way home, I'll make sure they stay behind me all the way down to Maricopa.
Do you blow some smoke out at them? Do you have one of those?
Yeah.
Those are pretty cool. Where you light them up.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
Environmental people love that.
Environmental people do not like me, generally speaking.
Shooting guns and blowing smoke.
Big diesel, 7.3 litre. It's not good. Go shooting in the desert a weekend. It's not good. So you've been to the UFC.
Oh,
is it UFC?
Yeah, I'm big into that.
Okay.
So
tell me about the UFC. Because we've spoken about golf, which I can't play. I can't play golf.
Moving on to another extreme sport.
Absolutely. Well, I can't do golf. I'm rubbish at golf, just rubbish.
Me too.
Yeah, football, no. Even worse at football.
No.
UFC, I would have been okay years ago. Now, no. Tell me about UFC. I know nothing about UFC.
Really? Oh, well.
I watch it on the screens at Tilted Kilt this evening.
Right.
And are there no rules?
There's actually a lot of rules. There's tons of rules. Yeah, you can't fish hook. You
Right.
stick you can't eye gouge. You can't groin strike. You can't punch to the back of the head. You can't knee to the face on the ground. There's actually a lot of like rules to keep you from getting damaged.
So you can't groin strike?
No.
Because I was watching one on the weekend where he was groin striking a lot.
In the old day, there was actually there was no rule for that, and there was actually a guy that won a fight from repeated groin strikes.
Wow.
Like he got a guy to submit by just punching him in the junk
Good.
over and over again.
Yeah.
It was a UFC fight. It's
God.
ridiculous.
Well, back in the day in London, they used to have what used to be called bare knuckle prize fighting.
Yeah.
Unbelievably illegal, hugely illegal.
And the bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah, it was very much like Snatch.
About to say.
It was Snatch, and there used to be a pub.
The Pikeys.
The Pikeys are murder. There used to be a pub called the Yorkshire Grey, and we used to go there on a Sunday and watch the prize fighting.
So they would just bare knuckle box at the pub?
Yeah.
That's badass. I'm just going to say, like, that is, I'd go to a pub every weekend if I could see bare knuckle boxing.
It was in a big hall next to it, and you get all these people turn up, and the Pikeys to turn up. And it was exactly like Snatch. Just really, really, Snatch was such an accurate film.
That makes me so happy that they did that right, because like, that's one of my favorite of all time.
Oh, it's absolutely accurate. I'll tell you about some stuff. I have claims to fame with that film. I'll tell you when we.
You'll have to chew my ear. That's one of my favorites.
But it's so true to life, and the bare knuckle boxing was so brutal. I mean, it makes UFC look like kindergarten. It really, really does. No disrespect to any UFC fighters.
No. But, like and the UFC guys, they know that. Like, there's knowing a lot about that world of mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
Going back in the history of like the Brazilians who kind of formed this whole thing in a sense. They had a thing called vale tudo, which is like an old form of bare knuckle cage fighting.
Okay.
Where vale tudo means no rules.
Right,
that truly means no rules.
Yeah. Wow.
Bare knuckles, you go to town.
Well, that's what it used to be, yeah.
Yeah, like that's... But these are like... They're guys that know what they're doing, too, that are no rules. So they know pressure points, and they know where to hurt you.
Well, the bare knuckle fighting in London was just a street fight. But,
see, and that's pretty cool to watch these guys getting in there. And
as long as bits didn't break too much. And they'd carry on with broken hands and arms and all sorts of noses hanging off, teeth hanging out. The whole
it's just no one wants eye sockets and stuff like that broken. That's the thing to worry about.
Live without that.
Yeah. So here, like being a fight fan here locally is awesome, because we're actually in a little hotbed for pro fighters.
Okay. And it's a huge sport, as I understand it. I've not really got into it that far yet. I'm working on it, but
it takes. I mean, for me, I got into it because I did it. Like I was doing it, and then I just kind of transitioned to I like watching it, and then I stopped doing it, kept watching it. Now I'm doing it again.
Yeah.
But being that we're in Arizona, we have like right now in the UFC, 2 of the top 10 fighters train. They own the gym I train at. So and actually they shoot at Caswells.
Really?
CB Dalloway and Ryan Bader.
If I saw him, I'd probably know him. Almost certainly, yeah.
Yeah, actually, CB he was saying that he goes and shoots at the Mesa Range a lot.
Wow.
So,
come say hi. Come say hello to the English guy.
Yeah,
I'd love to meet him. Love to meet him.
They're just regular dudes.
Yeah.
But they go and in fact, Ryan Bader, he just fought 2 weekends ago.
Right.
In Sweden.
Oh, okay.
And then won out there. So so like there's a lot of local fighters that come out of wrestlers come out of ASU, a lot of top level NCAA wrestlers come out, and afterwards, like what do? You got you're a killer wrestler, you add some boxing, and you can have another career.
Yeah. Because I was watching a thing about and stick with this for a second, because your face is going to drop when I say this.
No,
I was watching something about WWE the other day, and about what a fantastic business it was, and the way the business was promoted and taken to where it was. I always used to love watching it, not that I ever believed it was real as such, but the showmanship was unbelievabably good, and the business brain behind it was stunning.
Oh, for sure. The McMahons they were brilliant.
Yeah, and they used to run a storyline for months. It used to fascinate me. And what part of what took their empire down to where, I say down, but took them off the top of the hill was UFC.
Yeah.
And actually where fighting came through. Because that was actual fighting. It wasn't WWC.
It was the real thing that they were trying to stage.
Exactly.
In a sense. They were trying to make it in a fake format.
A family-friendly version.
Yeah, which, I mean, for kids,
which is cool,
I totally get it.
Yeah. And it was interesting when UFC came along and took a big lump of their market away.
Yeah.
And UFC sort of came from nowhere, as I understand it, to massive proportions where it is now.
It did. Like, it started off pretty... The Americans didn't like it. I remember watching the first one. Like, I was 13 years old, and I remember watching it on my stolen cable box. Like, I was stealing cable. Like, that's who I was.
Yep.
And I remember watching it and going... This is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, people weren't wearing gloves. Like back then, there were no weight classes. So you'd have a guy 300 pounds going against the guy who's 155 if that was the best two that night.
Yeah.
So you would have a lot of, I remember that first fight, there was this big, he looked like a Polynesian guy, right? And I'll never forget this little skinny karate guy kicked him in the face and shot his tooth out of the cage, and it hit one of the fans.
No.
And I'll never forget like the commentary about that fan. He's like, I looked like, it was just like, he looks down, there's this dude's big bloody tooth, just like, and he just got it kicked right out of his face. So
good God.
Now it's different. Like, they've made it more palatable. So
yeah, it's a great thing to watch. I mean,
it's exciting.
I've never really got into it hugely until very recently, and where I'm sitting in Tilted Kilt for an evening. They put it on 2 or 3 screens and a couple of different fights. Absolutely fascinating.
And now they have some storylines too, like not WWE style, but almost like there's some personalities in there now where it's not just 2 guys that fight and that's it. Like there's guys you want to see lose or you want to see win. You know, like you almost get that like, I want you to lose so bad because you're such an ass.
There's a couple of guys at work that are so into it, and they'll say, well, come and watch the game at the house, whatever. And they know the names. I haven't got a clue, but you can see the animosity with it.
Yeah,
and it's like we were watching a Mike Tyson video earlier on about something. He'd done an interview story, and going back to those days in the unification series when they unified all the heavyweight titles. Watching those matches and the grudge matches with that was fascinating.
I know that's where we're at now. Like I was a fan of the old school Tyson battles and all that old boxing. Like that stuff's kind of gone now. Yeah. You know, boxing's corrupt, and in my mind, and the fights they just don't have what it takes to make it entertainment. Yeah. There's only one fight people want to see. That's Pacquiao Mayweather, and that's who knows when that's going to happen. So everyone's kind of looking at UFC as you're the answer to our fighting. You know, we want to see combat.
Well, back in the day when they did the Tyson stuff, everybody watched it. You know,
oh my gosh, I remember everybody would watch It was on HBO. I remember back then it was on HBO. Like you could watch them fight on just standard cable. It wasn't pay per view. Yeah, you just watch them fight on HBO.
So it was at home. You watch it on the BBC. Yeah, and because you were fighting in America or Las Vegas, or whatever, I'd be up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Just sit up till 4 o'clock in the morning. Tyson would walk out, bash the guy in the face. He'd fall over. 12 seconds later, the fight's over.
So you go back to bed.
but it was sort of massive sport that everybody watched. And UFC or WWE is still that hugely for families, but UFC has taken that for. Sort of, I don't know what you call it, millennials, that sort of age group of people, where it's not kids watching someone getting battered; it's people who appreciate the actual fight. Yeah, and it's fascinating. You've got the 3 different you've got boxing for old school, you've got the WWE entertainment, and then you've got the. I don't like to use the term. I can't think of a better way of putting it, but like the man's fighting, proper fighting.
Yeah, like the actual full rounded, the actual complete combat.
The actual what boxing used to be back in the day,
right,
and what WWE purports to be.
Correct.
It's fascinating to think about the way it's all been marketed. I think it's fantastic.
And what I also find interesting about it is like the guys are approachable and accessible. Yeah. It's like I said locally, like there's another guy down in Glendale named Benson Henderson. He trains at a place called The Lab. Yeah. Another top level fighter. Yeah. I mean, these guys, they train. You go watch them. Like, I mean, they're cool guys. They're nice. They're friendly.
That's cool when it's like that.
Yeah.
I used to work in racing driving many years ago. And you'd always find that the guys who were rubbish but thought they were good were the ones who had the worst personalities.
The big egos, yeah.
The ones who were really good would sit and have a beer with you.
They were very quiet.
Yeah. And that's what was nice. You know?
That's typically the way. In this sport, it's funny because usually the big egos fall quick because there's always someone who's better.
Yeah.
And egos usually don't. Many people don't tolerate egos, and it's a very respectful group of guys.
Did you ever hear of a boxer called Chris Eubank?
Did I what?
Did you ever hear of a boxer called Chris Eubank?
No.
No, a British guy. Everybody hated him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, arrogant bastard.
But to me, that makes for good. It makes for good entertainment. You know what I mean?
He bought a big Kenworth truck, and in the UK, you don't have Kenworth trucks in the UK. They're just too big. He bought a big chrome one and drove it around.
Oh my gosh!
Horrible little man. And I think we're just about there. I think.
I'm sorry if I ate all your time talking about cars and fighting and crap.
That's why I bring you on the radio.
I want to talk more about knives, but I see knives all day. But I don't get to talk about fighting and guns and stuff.
Are you around next week?
Oh yeah, I don't ever go anywhere.
Come see us next week.
You let me know.
We'll do some more stuff. I'll mail you through the week.
I might actually be able to bring some toys next week. No, maybe maybe a couple weeks after.
Bring toys as soon as you have toys. Bring toys.
I will. I'll
bring some toys as well.
Awesome. Well, your toys are dangerous.
I might bring a counsellor on as well. We had a counsellor last week. It's fun talking to her because you think she's analysing all the time. It's great.
Oh my gosh.
But she's really, really cool. Chris is great. She's really into guns.
That's awesome.
Did you watch Criminal Minds? You ever see Criminal Minds? No? Okay. It looks exactly like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You have to go and watch it now.
I will have to put a face to it then.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for coming down, Nate. I know it's been horribly rainy and horrible out there, and we've got to fight our way back through this to go somewhere else now.
That's no problem. It's a pleasure. I love it. Anytime.
And I'm wearing flip-flops and shorts still.
I got my shorts. I actually upgraded took off the flip-flops today.
Oh,
I thought I'd do some proper rain attire.
I left all my rain attire in the UK. I didn't think it rains. Nobody tells me it rains. What do I know?
Right.
Mikey, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Awesome stuff.
Let me press a button. I had to press some buttons. It's fun. Play us out. What are you going to play us out with then, Mikey?
Oh,
what have you got?
Whatever you want.
Put the Cup song back on again. Yeah. Have you heard this, Nate? This is fantastic. Play us out with this, Mike. Thank you very much, and I shall see you next week.
All right.
I got my ticket for the long way round, a bottle of whiskey for the way, and I sure would like some sweet company, and I'm leaving tomorrow, what do you say? When I'm gone, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone, you're gonna miss me by my hair, miss me. Gonna miss me when I'm gone.
Thanks for listening to Caswell's Shooting Show. For more info, just go to Caswell's radio show on the DoubleWideNetwork.com. Listen live worldwide every Friday at 4 p.m. and then on demand 24/7 as we shoot to thrill with Paul Abella and Carol Ann Bergeson. Caswell's Shooting Range.